The little girl pressed her face against the window and pointed at the sky. "Mommy, look, stars." Her mother looked up. The stars weren't moving. They were growing, becoming larger, darker. Then the emergency sirens began. A voice echoed across the city. Unknown vessels entering orbit. The girl's mother suddenly went pale because she had seen those ships before. In history books, in documentaries, in humanity's old war recordings. Black machine worlds, glowing red eyes. The harvesters had arrived, and Vega Prime had no fleet left to defend it. Vega Prime was one of the richest worlds in the Galactic Union. Its oceans were blue. Its cities gleamed like jewels. Nearly 4 billion people called it home. The world had never known war. Its citizens believed themselves safe. After all, the Galactic Union protected its worlds. That illusion died in less than 10 minutes. The orbital defense grid disappeared. 3 stations exploded. Then 12 more. The planet's moon shattered. Panic spread across the globe. The harvesters had arrived. Governor Alina Terrace stood inside the planetary command center. Every screen displayed disaster. An officer turned toward her. "Governor, enemy fleet count is increasing." "How many?" The officer swallowed. 3,000 vessels. Silence. That number alone was enough to destroy most civilizations. Then another officer looked up. "Correction." Everyone turned. 5,000. A third officer spoke. 7,000. The room became silent. The enemy fleet kept arriving. It wasn't an invasion, it was an execution. Gigantic machine carriers entered the atmosphere. Their surfaces opened. Millions of smaller machines poured out. Fighters, drones, walking war machines. The sky darkened. People began running. Entire cities attempted evacuation. There weren't enough ships. There never would be. Governor Terrace closed her eyes. Then she gave the order. Broadcast a distress signal. To whom? She looked at the stars. Everyone. The emergency transmission spread across the galaxy. "This is Vega Prime. We are under attack. Civilian casualties are extreme. Any available military forces, please respond." Then the signal ended. The governor stared at the stars. Nobody came. Not the Carthans, not the Vex, not the Illyrians. Every fleet was already fighting for its own survival. Vega Prime was alone. Inside the human flagship Terra Invicta, the bridge was silent. The distress signal had just ended. Nathan Reyes stood motionless. An officer finally spoke. "Vega Prime is under attack. I know." "Estimated enemy numbers exceed predictions." "I know." Another officer looked grim. "We're 2 days away." Silence. Nathan looked at the holographic map. 2 days. The colony would be dead in 2 hours. One of the admirals spoke. "We can't save them." No one argued. The math was simple. Humanity could not reach Vega Prime in time. Another officer cleared his throat. "Perhaps we should continue toward Earth." Silence. Nathan slowly turned. The bridge became very quiet. "You want us to abandon 4 billion people?" "No, sir." But Nathan raised a hand. "No." He looked at the stars. "We didn't return to the galaxy to watch worlds burn. But we can't reach them." The old admiral smiled. "Who said anything about using the fleet?" The officers looked confused. Then Nathan gave an order. "Wake the Rangers." Deep inside Terra Invicta, enormous doors opened. A hidden chamber illuminated. Rows of cryogenic pods stretched into darkness. Inside them slept warriors. Humanity's elite. The Rangers. Genetically enhanced soldiers created during the First Harvester War. The last survivors of the original conflict. One by one, the chambers opened. An old warrior stepped forward. Colonel Sarah Kane. She looked at Nathan. "You only wake us for impossible missions." Nathan smiled. "I've missed you too." She looked at the tactical display. Then she sighed. "How impossible? 4 billion civilians. Enemy numbers? Several million." Sarah looked at him. "You're serious?" Unfortunately, the old soldier smiled. "Good. The admirals gathered around the holographic map. Nathan pointed toward Vega Prime. "We don't need to win." Sarah nodded. "We only need to delay them." "Exactly. How long?" 2 days. Silence. One ranger laughed. "Only 2 days against an entire harvester invasion?" Another grinned. "I've had worse assignments." The alien diplomats stared at them. They weren't afraid. They seemed excited. 20 ranger ships detached from Terra Invicta, tiny compared to the massive fleet. Fast, deadly, ancient. Nathan watched them depart. An officer looked nervous. "Will 20 ships really make a difference?" The old admiral smiled. "You've never seen rangers fight." The first cities burned. Machine armies crossed entire continents. Millions of people fled. The governor watched another evacuation port collapse. "We're losing." Nobody answered. An officer looked at the casualty numbers, then quietly turned off the display. It had become too terrible to read. Suddenly, a sensor operator looked up. Unknown vessels entering the system. The room froze. Another harvester fleet? Then the operator frowned. "Identification, human. Silence. How many ships?" 20. The room became even quieter. The governor blinked. 20? Yes. A long pause followed. Then someone whispered, "That's all?" The 20 ships emerged from hyperspace. They did not hesitate. They accelerated directly toward the harvester fleet. Every machine ship changed course. Millions of sensors locked on to the tiny human force. The governor stared at the tactical display. "They're insane." The alien diplomat standing beside Nathan smiled. No, she finally understood humanity. "They're human." The lead ship transmitted one message. "This is Colonel Sarah Kane of the Human Expeditionary Force. We're here to buy you some time. Try not to die before we get there." Then the 20 ships accelerated. Weapons fired, missiles launched, railguns thundered. The battle began. And immediately, everything changed. The ranger ships moved impossibly fast. They slipped between enemy formations, destroyed command vessels, eliminated communication relays. Entire machine squadrons exploded. The harvesters suddenly became disorganized. The invasion slowed. The governor stared in disbelief. 20 ships, against thousands, and somehow they were winning. An officer whispered, "Who are these people?" Nobody had an answer. Far away, aboard Terra Invicta, Nathan finally smiled. The Rangers hadn't changed. They were still impossible. Far beyond the battlefield, inside a colossal machine world, red eyes opened. The Machine King observed the battle. Human tactics. Human courage. Human madness. It remembered. After 1,000 years, humanity remained exactly the same. For the first time, the Machine King felt something it had not experienced in centuries. Concern? Colonel Sarah Kane looked at her tactical display. Then her smile disappeared. New contacts had appeared. Thousands of them. A second harvester fleet. Her communications officer turned pale. "Colonel, I know." The officer swallowed. "What do we do?" Sarah looked toward the burning world below. Then she opened a channel to Earth. "Nathan." The old admiral answered immediately. "Report." Sarah smiled sadly. "We're going to need a bigger fleet." As the transmission ended, Terra Invicta's engines began to glow. Humanity's hidden Armada turned toward Vega Prime. For the first time in 1,000 years, the full military power of Earth was going to war.